Welcome back to MotionPic Recap. Today we're going to recap a movie titled Battleship. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. Humanity has finally managed to identify another planet that can sustain life, and we have decided to send a strong signal towards it, to see if any intelligent life exists that would answer. A man with long hair called Alex is drinking with his brother called Stone, somewhere in a bar, discussing joining the Navy. Suddenly, a beautiful woman walks in, and Alex decides to go up to her, even though Stone advises against it, and tell him he should focus on getting a job instead. She wants a chicken burrito, but since the kitchen is closed, the bar owner says she can't have one. And wanting to impress her, Alex says he will get one for her, if she gives him 5 minutes. Alex quickly runs over the street to a clothes store, breaks into it and even leaves money for it at the checkout, and then try to run back as the police arrive. Even being tased by the police, he tries his very best to give it to her, and the next day him and his brother are arguing, where Stone says the girl's father is the admiral, that Alex is now messing with his job. Stone says he now does as he says, or else he won't help him anymore, saying he will come and join him in the Navy to become disciplined. A year or two later, news are reporting about thousands of sailors on dozens of ships are going to Hawaii for Rimac, which is the largest multinational military exercise. Part of the Rimac exercise is the soccer competition between the navies, and Alex is the team leader for the United States soccer team, and the girl called Samantha is there cheering for him. Suddenly Alex is kicked in the face, and the United States is awarded a penalty kick. But despite his team wanting someone else to make the kick, Alex selfishly decides he will kick. Because of the hit in the head, he has got a small concussion, and totally misses the goal, disappointing his team that lost the match. The Japanese won the contest, and later that evening him and his girlfriend are practicing Alex talking to her father, to ask him permission for her hand in marriage. Meanwhile in space, some unknown object is closing in on Earth. On Earth, Alex is late to a Navy event, where Samantha's father Admiral Shane is holding a speech. Alex tries to sneak by but is clearly spotted by Admiral Shane, and he has also forgotten wearing sunglasses on him. His brother Stone goes up to hold a quick speech, and then the event is over. Alex is still mad at the Japanese who kicked him in his face, and then he starts preparing mentally to speak with her father. However, he is too scarred, and runs into the ship to practice in front of a mirror. But then the Japanese guy steps in who kicked him, and the two end up in a fight. Next they are both standing in front of the admiral, trying to explain what happened, saying it was an accident, that the floor was wet, and the Japanese guy tried to catch Alex, and they fell and hit their heads. Admiral Shane is very angry, and Alex is too scared to ask for his daughter's hand now. And next the navies are all sailing out together on the vast ocean. Alex is a weapons officer on one of the ships, and his brother Stone is the commanding officer of it, and while Stone says they are there to learn, Alex tells his men they are there to win, crush and outperform all other ships. Later his brother Stone tells Alex he heard complaints concerning him from higher ranking officers, and that he will probably be kicked out of the Navy because of his lack of humility. Meanwhile Samantha is working with helping injured soldiers on Hawaii, being a physical therapist. She talks with a serious man called Mick, who has lost his legs, saying they should go hiking. While out walking she calls her boyfriend Alex, and Alex says he is sorry because he messed things up, and she replies that the only demand she has on him is for him to stop messing things up. Suddenly something weird is happening, and the Space Observatory on Hawaii observes objects steering towards Earth, and the scientists first think it is a joke. They discuss what it is and conclude they are flying in formation. And suddenly both NASA and the military join the phone line. One object breaks as it enters the atmosphere and crashes in Hong Kong, and the other 4 objects landed in the Pacific Ocean outside Hawaii, and they now believe it is an alien response. Admiral Shane is contacted to investigate what landed in the ocean, ordering Commander Stone's ship and 2 others to go and check where they landed. They get to it, and can now see something large sticking up out of the water, but it doesn't appear on any radar. They decide to send out a small dinghy to board the unidentified object, and Alex is tasked to do it. Alex jumps up on the object and says, He has never seen any material like it. He walks closer to the side of it, and when he touches it, it gives off some kind of electrical shock, making him fly. And then a signal goes off, up into the sky. It is some kind of protective shield that screens the object. And the three ships off from the outer world. And Admiral Shane loses contact with them on the inside. All digital instruments stop working for the three ships. And suddenly they see something coming out of the water. It is some kind of vehicle floating on the water, and next two more of these appear from the ocean. Commander Stone orders his men to send out a warning signal, wounding the ship's horns, and then the alien vehicles respond using some sound shockwave. They are all disoriented, and decide to send a warning shot towards them, and Alex and his men prepare to go back to the ship. Their shot misses as intended, but then the alien ship responds, targeting the one sending out the warning shot. They try to defend themselves, but one projectile hits it, blowing the deck where several men were, and Alex decides. They turn around and shoot at it with their dinghy. The small dinghy is hard to hit, and so Alex and the other two are quite safe, and wondering what they are doing, his brother, Stone, decides to engage. One projectile hits the ship and creates a hull breach, and Stone orders his men to continue firing at the enemy. Having no chance at defending themselves, the alien vehicle once again returns fire and hits the ship from the bow to the stern, and Alex sees his brother blow to smithereens. The Japanese ship is still intact, and when Alex gets back to the other American ship, the captain is dead, and they conclude Alex is next in command. Alex orders them to prepare to engage, readying their weapons for attack, and the Japanese thinks he is insane, concluding he needs backup, and decides to engage too. The alien vehicle sees the Japanese aiming at it and starts firing at it, hitting it and blowing it up. Having no real guns on their ship, the men ask Alex to stop the attack and go help the Japanese sailors in the water. And coming to his senses, Alex stops the attack. Heading towards the sinking Japanese ship, they see the enemy sending out some sort of flying vehicle and other types of projectiles. On Hawaii, the infernal projectiles target a military airbase, destroying all the important assets in its path, and then continuing on towards civilian targets. It stops and scans a young boy, identifying him as a non-threatening entity, but decides to target highway viaducts nearby. The things continue on causing mayhem, and meanwhile the military has concluded that nothing can penetrate the force field the aliens have created. The Japanese captain is in shock, and angry at Alex for what has happened. And simultaneously on Hawaii, Mick and Samantha sees the alien ship arrive. While the aliens land, the sheriff arrives, telling the two to get out of there, because they are under some unknown attack, and that the Navy has engaged the enemy out on the Pacific. They note people are using the word alien, but Mick remarks he has never seen an alien, and starts heading for the landing site too on foot, and soon after the sheriffs are attacked. Alex is mourning his brother, but is fetched by one of his men, because they found a smaller crashed transporter in the water, with a lot of debris where also an alien floated around. Alex and the Japanese captain remove its helmet, and they all start investigate the alien creature in front of them. But then suddenly it wakes up. It grabs Alex's face, and somehow he briefly shares the alien's mind, and sees that they go from planet to planet, taking resources and then destroying the planet. And in the middle of it, another alien blows the wall and saves his comrade. Alex orders a lockdown of the ship, arming all his sailors, since the aliens could have left others on their ship. While searching, some of them come in contact with one but lose it, and soon after someone is entering the barricaded machine room. The officer tells his men to run away, and as the alien enters it identifies him as non-threatening, but targets the ship's engines, which the officer won't allow, so he attacks it. Alex and the woman sailor rakes attack it, after which Alex yells to her to ready the ship's deck gun, and he makes the alien follow him outside. It is very strong, especially with its exoskeleton suit, but making it not notice, Alex allows rakes to aim the ship's gun at it, and shoot it to bits. Meanwhile, Mick and Sam arrives at the site where the sheriffs were attacked, and suddenly an alien appears out of the woods. Mick hides behind some vegetation, but Sam, who hides behind a car, is heard breathing by the alien, until it is confused as some horses start neighing. and Sam manages to grab some car keys. They go back to a car they left behind earlier to block the road. And suddenly one of the scientists from the scientific facility appears in shock. Meanwhile, the military has found out the crashed alien ship in Hong Kong was probably a communication ship, and now thinks the aliens want to plug into the satellite communication on Hawaii to talk to their home planet. Mick, Sam, and the scientist come to the same conclusion. One of Alex's sailors tests the helmet, noting it's like extreme sunglasses, concluding that the aliens probably can't handle sunlight because his pet lizard with the same type of eyes once became crazy when he took it to the beach. The military command wants Admiral Shane to send in troops, but he says they can't cross the force field. Meanwhile, the scientist explains there's a special satellite in orbit. They need to slingshot the signal to their planet, which will be in position in about 5 hours, and so they have to step them before that. The Americans have no idea how to track the alien ships without radar. But the Japanese captain reveals they have an old Japanese tactic they have used against the Americans for 20 years, which is water displacement using tsunami buoys. Next, they hack into live NOAA data displaying size of water waves hitting buoys across the ocean. Alex calls the Japanese captain called Nagata a dirty, sneaky cheater, but says he likes his tactics and that he is there to help him. On the island, they conclude they need to find communication equipment to contact whatever military is out there on the ocean. And on the ship, they start tracking the aliens using the Japanese tactic. They strategically prepare to target the next position the enemy will be at and fires missiles at it. The missiles miss the target, and now the aliens are heading towards them, having found their position. And back at the island, the scientist is pressured into sneaking in and grabbing a communication device from his facility. He manages to get to it, but then an alien appears, making him almost crap in his pants. But the alien sees him as non-threatening, and he manages to get back. On the ocean, they try again to shoot the alien ship down, but miss once more, and then they suddenly see another enemy vehicle appearing, heading towards them. The aliens engage, firing projectiles at them, and Alex orders to reverse engines and defend the ship. And they just manage to destroy all incoming missiles. Next, they try targeting both ships simultaneously, and Captain Nagata is in command. Since he is most familiar with this weapons tactic, and cool-headed, he waits for the opportune moment, and suddenly orders to fire. They intensely wait for confirmation, and happily they successfully hit both alien vehicles. Immediately after, Mick is heard over the ship's radio, and hearing it as Alex answering, Sam starts talking, and they explain that they need to destroy the scientific facility on the island within 4 hours, or else the aliens may contact their home planet. Captain Nagata sees another alien vehicle approaching, but this one knows their tactic and jumps around randomly towards them. Alex has an idea, since they are close to one of the Hawaii Islands, where they can use land to their advantage to minimize the places the enemy ship can jump. They prepare their guns and missiles, and Alex asks Captain Nagata if he is a good sniper. And Nagata replies he is. The sun is rising on the horizon. And Alex asks how long he has practiced sniping, and Captain Nagata responds he practiced a little in summer camp, and became a champion when he was 12 years old. The enemy appears before them, and as the sun rises, Alex and Captain Nagata aim towards the windows, and shoots holes in the glass, so that the aliens are blinded by the light. Suddenly, they unload everything they got, and the alien ship is blown to smithereens. But then suddenly 2 other projectiles appear, and Alex orders them to clear the bridge. The projectiles dig themselves into the ship, eating metal and creating large holes that causes the ship to sink. They are ordered by Alex to abandon the ship, and both Alex and Captain Nagata try to avoid being killed while their sailors swim towards lifeboats. The 2 are the last to jump from the ship, as it sinks into the depths. And from land, Sam can see it all happening, and Mick comforts her, seeing a lot of lifeboats in the water. Mick asks Samantha if her driving skills are good, and she says they are okay. And Mick remarks they might buy humanity another day to stop the aliens, and the scientist jumps out because he doesn't have a death wish. Alex and Captain Nagata's men make it to the harbor, where Battleship Missouri is moored, and Alex has an idea. They remark this is a museum piece, and that they have no idea of how it works. But then some tough veterans appear asking if they are okay, having seen what happened. Next up, with the help of the real old sailors, they are starting up the engines of the old machine, preparing its guns by loading shells as big as trees. Before knowing it, the propellers are turning and they are on their way out of the harbor, heading out into the sea, to shoot down the scientific facility and the aliens on Oahu. All engines are ahead flank and soon they are starting to hit the big waves out there. Going around the island, they soon see that the force field generator has moved close to the island. And suddenly it starts coming out of the water. The enormous alien ship sees the guns on the battleship, turning to aim towards them. And so they too prepare to fire projectiles. But then Alex gets an idea. He orders the men to turn their guns around and aim away from the alien ship to not seem hostile. And then when close enough he orders the ship to make a hard left. The aliens understand what is about to happen and shoots at them, and Alex orders to drop the port anchor. And suddenly, as it takes, the projectiles miss their ship. Missouri's side and guns suddenly face straight at the alien vehicle, and they start dropping lead, making a direct hit, and then drops the anchor chain and begin reloading. The aliens attack again. And though they are hit by a few projectiles, the ship can take it due to its large size. They return the aliens' fire and hits one of the arms to the force field generator. And seeing the barrier go down, Admiral Shane orders his armada to send up every plane they have. The satellite starts nearing its orbital position, to slingshot the alien signal to their home planet. But then Sam and Mick appears from nowhere, driving straight through the cables and equipment, destroying the aliens' chance of sending anything. Samantha becomes stuck in the car, and Mick says he won't allow anything to happen to her. Since the crane bringing up shells was destroyed, they have to carry the 1,000-pound heavy artillery piece to the gun. Mick starts attacking the big alien with an exoskeleton, but is kicked to the ground and can't get up. However, then the scientist appears helping him, smashing the alien with his metal case. While Mick somewhat successfully puts the alien in a headlock and chokes him, the other aliens reconnect all the cables to send the signal. The scientist helps Samantha get loose to get out of there, and meanwhile they are turning their guns on Missouri to shoot down the facility on Oahu. Just as they fire their shell to destroy the scientific facility, the aliens shoot projectiles to destroy their ship. And Alex and Captain Nagata both say it was an honor to serve with each other. But at the very last second, the rest of the Navy appears and fighter aircraft shoot down the projectiles and the alien ship, all while they successfully hit the science base on the island. Admiral Shane holds a speech sometime later, honoring those who died and those who showed gallantry and courage. He also tells Alex he looked forward to seeing him at sea on a ship of his own command. Soon afterwards they take pictures together, and Captain Nagata is there with them. After which Sam says she likes him to be brave and go speak to her father and ask him to marry her. Admiral Shane says no, making Alex speechless at first, and then he remarks that he saved the world, and Admiral Shane responds that saving the world is one thing, and his daughter is quite another. Shane says he is hungry and want a chicken burrito, telling Alex he should join him and discuss his surrender over a meal. The end. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this, and hit the like button to help us out. Until next time, take care.